What's going on, SMITE fans? Persephone is about to be released, so I brought in some of our best mid laners to talk to me a little bit about what you can expect from her and just how good they'll think that they'll be. In fact, I got Venenu right here with me, Hurriwind, and Dardez. All these guys have been playing SMITE for a long time, so I hope you guys got some good ideas. First things first, do you think you'll even get to play Persephone, or is it just going to all your hunters in the long lane now? Will you get to enjoy Persephone at all, or where is she going to be going?
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I mean, every team's different right now, so
Sure.
I'm not going to make any assumptions. But I'm sure we'll get our hands on her at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll demand it.
Demand it, right? Hopefully, you all will get some time to try and play her. Well, I guess I'll just go around it and just your initial sort of impressions on. You think she's cool or fun or hard or easy or how much you think she'll get played? Just what are some of your initial impressions, Ben? I can start with you.
She seems like she's gonna be kind of a difficult character. Her ult's very unique and different.
Yeah.
I think it can be really good around objectives and kind of like stalling stuff. Like if you just back, you can ult down the mid lane and hope someone's walking in and like stop them from getting the gold or something. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Like fun abilities like that. It's really cool and like new and stuff. So I'm excited to play her.
Sure. Hurry. What about you, man?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, it's kind of, I feel like, a bit too early to tell.
Sure.
I feel like that's a really cliche answer. Probably should just try to give real opinions, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, she has everything that she seems that she probably needs for a mid laner: dash, good clear. So.
Okay. Good. Sounds good. What about you, man, Dardez?
Yeah, I think she looks really cool. And she has like CC immunity, a leap, high damage, high scaling. She has everything she wants, so she's gonna be a good mage.
You're gonna be good. Still playing on her though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm only playing hunters.
That's right. Yeah, if they ban that away, then maybe you'll get to see some Persephone. Do you guys think there's any chance that we could see her, aside from like the fact that we put mages in the long lane, but do you think she could fit as a solo laner maybe, or even jungle or anything like that, just based on what she can do? I mean, she's got some mobility, the slows, her ult is really big CC. Do you think she fits anywhere else?
I don't know if she would fit in solo. I do think though the passive backing and getting extra gold, I think that's
Right.
pretty interesting. I'm curious if you can like really abuse it and like just snowball with her. I'm not too sure how she
Sure.
like feels with that and stuff. So
Maybe you just like sit in base at the beginning and just farm a bunch or something like I don't know. Sure. What do you think? Do you think there's any chance you could see her some other roles, Harry, or anything like
I
that?
think people are going to make arguments, really strong arguments for other roles. Those are my opinions on that. I mean, it depends on how strong she is. I think like maybe she's so strong that she feels like maybe your soul laner thinks she could be good there. But I'm going to say probably should not go there of all places. But
Sure.
I don't know, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be a like ADC for sure on mid, I guess.
Sure. Oh, and roll.
Yeah, long lane, I guess.
Right,
I don't
right.
know how. Yeah.
No, I think that's probably the best way to say it. It's hard to say it nowadays with it.
Yeah.
Well, you were kind of talking about how she feels really unique, and I think you're right. So much of what she does is different. She has these seeds, and they grow over time, and they're used for different things at different points. When you have someone who you have to think 24 seconds in the future or sometimes or that kind of thing, how does it affect it for you when you want to pick that kind of god, when you have to plan that much? Or are you happy when you see that because you guys are already thinking that far ahead?
I think it's like you can do a lot of planning around like gold and objectives and stuff like that. Like if you just place seeds around there and be like, okay, like get your power spikes on and like rotate over and stuff. Like I think it could be good. I'm not too sure.
Sure.
Like I mean that would be a big brain play by Mike probably. Mike would have to figure something out like that.
Dude, once Mike gets on the brain throne and figures that out, then we're all we can just follow
You're
his
gonna
lead
see
on that one.
Persephone support from Mike for sure. Yeah.
Well, what sort of stuff does excite you when you see someone that has, you know, the option to play her so forward thinking for you then, Harry?
It's just really cool whenever there's gods that have like this crazy amount of variability and this like high playmaking potential. 24 seconds kind of feels like a long time.
It's a long time, yeah.
So you're just thinking, in my mind, I'm going to be thinking like, okay, these mids are spawning soon. I expect them to maybe fight for them, so I throw a few seeds over there, and maybe when they come around the corner, you know,
Sure.
we'll get some unexpected damage that way. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see. I haven't seen a lot of what she can really do, but it seems like the potential is really high, especially with the ult.
Sure. Yes, I think the old is probably the big one. We can talk about that in a sec too. Dardez,
Yeah.
how do you feel about something that lets you think into the future, I guess, and try to predict?
I think it's pretty cool, honestly. I like hard road to play, so
Sure.
I think she seems hard to play, hard to master at least.
Right.
And yeah,
There's definitely some like face roll potential, I guess, right? Like at a certain level. I think if you want the most out of her, you really do need to be able to like play her at a really high level. Well, you mentioned the ultimate, and it's hard not to talk about it. Let me get the official name here for it. Grasp of Death. That's a good name for it. It's a new type of CC, right? Where they are rooted and They're able to still use abilities. They're able to still attack out of it, but they cannot move at all while they're inside it. Crippled and rooted, so you can't use movement abilities to get back out of it. And it'll spread out and grab other people that are nearby.
Yep.
And if they get closer, then
locks
the range
you.
of it like
Yeah.
shortens and everything too. So it's really, really different. I guess you were talking about some of the applications, like maybe even catching them, trying to rotate and stuff like that. I mean, this is a huge tool for a mid laner to have.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how it works. Like, it's hard to tell, like, off the bat, like, what you can do with it and stuff like that. But I think, like, you could, like, call for an objective and, like, root the person. Obviously, it has 5 auto attacks to break the cage,
Yes,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So it won't last too long, but, like, it will stall sometime. Like, sometimes that's important and stuff like that. So curious to see how it will go.
And we have other stuff like a Bracken Wall where you kind of need your team to turn around and auto it and free you really quickly or anything like that. Is that stuff hard to communicate in the middle of fights, I guess? Or do you think that you're probably going to get a lot of value out of this every time?
I think that people will learn to play with it, and they'll also learn to play against it as well. People will get quicker, like breaking people out and like turning around and helping like a carry who's trapped or something. I think people are going to use it more like knocks out maybe when it starts, but I think as people like get more
Right.
practice with it, they're going to see where it's like most efficient, basically.
Like initially, people just be using it like to finish off targets.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then, I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you think about? I guess just this
Yeah.
ultimate in general. Do you feel like maybe it's too much control for a mage, or do you like it here for her?
I don't know, because I agree with Hurry, I mean. Because I feel like, in competitive at least, like the ult, like 5As, like it's really like not a lot, so I don't think she's gonna be here for the CC. It's more like the damage, like North Suit, like you said.
Right. Like everyone just has to turn and hit it once, right? And that dies out of
yeah.
it, basically.
It's true. And the ADCs, like, they don't like.
And if you
destroy.
beads it, you can leave it, but it
Yeah.
still exists, right? And it would attract anyone new, so you could even get out of it if you've
Yeah.
got some CC immunity too. So. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Well, then, what about this Flourish? I describe it, I guess, as better. That's like her movement ability, the third ability. I described it as better, like Neath movement, but you said it's way better. Like, how much do you like? I guess her forward and backwards leap that she's got.
I mean, it's really fast. I think I got to play her in general practice, and like it's a really fast leap, and like she has like I don't know. I think she's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
And have a good amount of safety. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it feels like it might be even hard to read. You never know if she's going to be like aggressive or if she's
Yeah.
using it to get back. It can be tough to read. I mean, you've played some not very safe stuff a lot before and just kind of relied on your team. Do you like when you see someone with a nice leap like this in case you need it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the boat where whenever I see a leap or a jump and it's good, I immediately am thinking like this character has viability, like regardless of everything else that's going on here. So yeah, I mean, that makes me excited because I immediately know like the god will get play in some
Right.
way, shape, or form. At least in the early weeks when people are figuring her out. I mean, it goes over walls, right?
Yes, it
and
does.
it's way faster than Neath backflip. So like Neath backflip, people have like guaranteed follow up off of her
Right.
leap, but that's not going to happen very often, I don't think, on this character. So it looks incredibly strong, I think, compared to other leaps in the game, for mages at least.
Yeah, and we talked about how it, with her seed, she places it, pops them, but at a higher level.
Yep.
Like they do different things like the heal and the damage than the one that comes up and chases you. So, I mean, I think there's even some aggressive potential for this, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of outplayability for sure. I think the iframes is
Yeah.
really important. I think you can do a lot with that. Just a lot of outplayability, it seems like, with their dash. And so I'm curious to see how it goes in competitive and stuff like that.
Okay, the last ability I guess I want to ask you guys about is that first one, the line clear ability, because it is kind of like a normal line clear. She fires it, but it's a little bit different because it's like a deploy almost. She can keep moving once she's launched it, but it fires from the initial cast place. Are those kinds of abilities like harder to use? I mean, because it is a bit unique in that sense. I guess a little bit like Baron 1, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. That's the only ability actually I would compare it to. I think that's a perfect comparison. It feels a little bit awkward, I think, when you're not used to it.
It takes some getting used to, yeah.
Like when you use it for the first time, you're kind of like feel like you're maybe lagging a little bit.
Sure.
But I think that it's a pretty strong and safe ability to be used to clear. So as long as it's clearing archers, which I believe it does like relatively early with the right build,
Right.
then I think it makes it a strong ability.
Okay. If you said you were in jungle practice playing or some too. How did I guess that first one feel for you?
I mean, it felt pretty weird, honestly, but I think it's gonna be like a poach, clear wave ability, because it's really easy to like dodge that ability.
Yes, it's a little
It's
slow,
really easy, yeah. It has a delay at the start, and then it goes. So, I don't know, it's probably like a poach ability, I'd say.
Yeah. And to clarify, it's fast once it shoots, but I guess when I
Yeah.
say it's slow, I mean like the deploy is a little slow. Sure. Well, or do you have any? I guess anything that stood out for you with that first ability? Like that, or?
Once it goes forward, it shatters, right? And
Yeah,
and
it's like
clone?
it's like a little bit narrower and then gets wider for like the damage.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, yeah, it would just be your poking ability. So curious to see how it works, but if it's easy to dodge, then it probably won't be too good. So.
Okay, I guess were there any items that you guys thought made sense on her? She does heal herself from it, but I don't think that she heals anyone else. So I don't know if any healing or any items like that or anything work. Is it just CDR or anything that stood out to you guys? I guess I can come to you on this one first, Ben.
CDR might be good because you can spam the seeds and everything like that, and then you get like the pomegranate seeds rolling, which you could abuse with the back game. I'm not too sure on that,
Sure.
like the gold abusing and stuff. But I mean, maybe it's super good, maybe it's not. Maybe just full damage is better. Not too sure yet.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to see some regrowths in my ranked games.
Definitely.
People running around and just being annoying.
Yeah.
But as far as like real items, it is really hard to tell. She'll probably kind of adhere to the normal meta mage build. You'll probably see like people going Book of Thoth. You'll probably see people try rushing cooldown and stuff to see how effective that heal is. But it really is kind of early to tell.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some cool Mirrodin stuff going on with her there too.
Oh, yeah.
We can get a couple of double pops. I haven't asked about the craziest part of here, so I can't let us go without this. Her passive, we don't like to talk about dying, but you can die and keep fighting for 8 seconds. You deal 50% of your reduced damage, so it's half of your normal damage, and you can't die anymore towards it. It's like not worth fighting you anymore at that point. I mean, that's huge, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's so weird to build something that's around dying, but it's a nice thing to sort of have when you die. How strong do you think it is, Hurry, to start with you?
Well, I know that you can't like body block or do things like that while you're dead,
Sure.
so that's an important thing to note. But I think you can. I don't remember. Can you take towers? Do you remember?
I don't know for sure. I doubt it, though, because you can't take damage at all, really, during that, right?
Yeah,
So-
well, I suppose even that won't be like relevant in most scenarios.
Sure, but that'd be pretty cool.
I imagine it's gonna be pretty annoying to play against. Like any CC that you can use while you're dead is gonna be relevant. I mean, in even 50% of your damage in the late game is still a lot of damage.
Yes.
I feel like, especially for carries to worry about. So I think it's gonna be pretty insane, honestly. But I haven't tested it enough to tell you.
Sure. Well, Dardez, did you have any thoughts about your 8 extra seconds of life that you get?
I mean, it's gonna be interesting because, like you said, Hurry said, 50% of like mage damage late game. That's a lot. So yeah.
Well, what about you, Ben? Because I don't know how much backup you're going to be getting from Scream anyway, so you're going to need these 8 seconds. How is it for you, I guess, when you're...
I'm just gonna hold my ult until I die, and then I'm gonna ult then, and then be like, "Well, help me next time." So just full damage.
So you can get all that damage out of it. Well,
Yeah.
she certainly seems interesting. Do you guys have any closing thoughts or anything like that you want to say here for her, just like real quick? Because I think we went over all the big stuff that she has here in her kit. Any closing thoughts for her or anything like that?
I'm just kind of excited to play her. I don't know, not much outside that. I am really curious about some things. I didn't mention it earlier, but like her dash cooldown is also really short for a dash cooldown. Like if you compare it to Merlin dash,
Yes, you're
that
right.
is
At 11
crazy.
at max rank. Yeah.
that is
And it's
crazy.
iframes, which
yeah,
is crazy as well.
iframes,
Yeah.
a really short cooldown. I'm just really interested to see.
Yeah.
No,
where
that's a
this
good
god
point.
ends
That
up.
is very low. That is very short.
Don't nerf her.
What about you, Dardez? Any closing thoughts, I guess, or anything that sticks out?
I think she's gonna be really cool to play, and I think she's gonna be a bit overpowered at first. I think because of the dash, like Hurry said, like 11 seconds cooldown. That's gonna be a bit broken, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Anything else that
It's the
maybe you
same
thought
for me.
was or,
I think the biggest thing is the dashes. I think the dash is gonna be really fun to play with and stuff like that, and really like useful and see how people play with it and stuff.
Good.
To just like blow people up and whatnot.
Well, hopefully you all get to play her some, and it's not just going to your hunters. Hopefully you all get to enjoy some of it. Thank you guys for watching. That is Persephone broken down for you by some of our very best pros. We'll get to you next time. We got another god coming out.